Now everything changes in chapter 8. We're going from this heavenly scene to Revelation 8. Revelation 8 is the start of the heavens shaking. It's the next level. The seals kind of were natural disasters that were just already in the process of happening. The forest fires and the pollution and people killing each other, all that stuff. Chapter 8 is when God cranks it up. He turns the thermostat up. The heavens will shake. First of all, it starts with this. Look how chapter 8 starts. By the way, we have 7 minutes, and we'll get through chapter 8. When he opened the seventh seal, remember the 6 seals? The 6th seal in chapter 6 was that mega quake. It's called megaseismos in Greek. Mega means big, and seismos means shaking. The whole world shakes. The very next event, when he opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about a half an hour. Bonnie and I took our kids to Mammoth Caves in Kentucky. They get you go down the 300 stairs, down the stairway, and you're finally down there in the cave, and they make you sit on a little bench, and the ranger says, everybody hold on to the bench. I'm going to turn the lights off for 30 seconds. And he goes behind one of the stalactites and hits a switch. Oh, you've never been in darkness like that. All of a sudden, people start doing this. They've got to have the light of their phone. They think they've gone blind. People are coughing. Babies start crying. You can hear them shuffling and moving, and the bench is creaking. It scares people to be in absolute darkness for 30 seconds. Can you imagine when it gets deathly silent, there's not a sound for a half an hour? It's going to be a moment. The silence means God is waiting. And basically, all of these evangelists are going into the world telling them there's time to repent. So God gives them time to listen before this all starts breaking out. And then there was silence for about a half an hour, and the 7 angels who stand before God, to them during this silence, they were given the trumpets. And after a half hour, number 1 comes up. And see, the whole picture, remember I told you it goes between heaven and earth? Down on earth, we got the 144,000, and they're going to every kingdom and tongue and tribe and nation. They're talking to everybody and pointing them, and the Antichrist has come behind, killing them as fast as he could. And then all of a sudden, the first trumpet sounds. But we're still in heaven. And God, after God has this silence, another angel, he's passed out the trumpets. They're ready to sound. Everything's going on earth. Look what happens. Having a golden censer came and stood at the altar, and it was given much incense that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints. Do you remember back when we were in chapter 5, I told you that God collects all those prayers and they're in that bowl? They've scooped out those prayers. They've mixed it with the incense. They're offering it on the golden altar. By the way, this is all patterned after the tabernacle. Moses was taken up in the mountain and saw the tabernacle in heaven. And he modeled the earthly tabernacle after what he saw in heaven. This is the heavenly tabernacle. They actually have an ark up there. They actually have this altar of incense up there. They actually have all that stuff that Moses built copies of. And the angels are offering incense on an altar right in front of God's throne. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints ascends before God from the angel's hands. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, threw it to the earth. That's a picture of all the prayers of all the centuries, of all the saints, saying, God, how long are you going to let evil continue? How long are you going to let mass murderers and all the rapists and serial killers and all the tyrants? And finally, he throws the censer filled with the prayers, and it burns, and smoke comes out. And there were noises and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And then look, God responds to all those prayers. Doom arrives. And God is going to not just let nature do its natural thing, he's going to turn nature against humanity for the next verses. And let's see. Oh, we have 2 minutes. Let's get through as many as we can. First of all, God strikes the environment and air supply. And a third of the trees are burned and a third of all green grass is burned. And then God shows what he can do with the ocean. A third of the sea with this great mountain of burning fire. What is it? Could be a comet. Could be a meteorite. Do you know what we do know? There are near-Earth objects. You want to study? Look up near-Earth objects on Google. They track them, they number them, they tell us how close they are, and sometimes some whiz by we didn't even know were there. And it says, Jesus said, what are going to appear to be stars are going to fall from the heavens. One of them falls and destroys all the ocean life. And then God shows how our water supply, a great star fell from heaven burning like a torch, another burning one. If this is a comet, comets are made of ammonia and methane and everything, it poisons everything and people die from the water. And then he hits the sun. Boy, didn't we ever get an example of what that's like. And there are going to be massive solar instabilities. It's going to go from a 3-day eclipse to turned up so high it's just burning everybody. And basically what we see in chapter 8 is 4 trumpets, a third of the trees, a third of the waters, the springs, and then the darkness, the diminution of light.